Disoriented and in pain, a young man awakens surrounded by strangers in a futuristic hall. This surrounding noise overwhelms his senses, his confusion mounting with every passing second. Before him lies a massive, sterile chamber filled with dozens of other confused people. This sheer shock of the impossible scene hits him, a silent gasp escaping his lips. Surrounded by strangers, his mind races with questions of kidnapping or some impossible dream. Then a sharp pain pierces his skull, triggering a flash of something he'd forgotten. Through the haze of pain, a critical memory finally breaks through, the mysterious letter he'd received. His memory flashes back, introducing our boy Zio Lin, a recent graduate with no job. Instead of a proper career, he made his living as a pro gamer, a beast at power leveling. Victory after victory, he dominated the digital world, grinding day and night for cash. Leaning back in his messy room, he finally allows himself a moment of rest, the job done. During a well-earned break, he casually scrolls through his phone, completely unaware of what is next. A photo of a seemingly happy couple on his screen reminds him of what he is missing, which fuels the memory of his father's harsh words, the very reason he moved out on his own. He was ready to prove himself, but never expected what would happen because of that. A shadowy delivery man appears late at night with a package for Zio Lin. Inside, a strange, dark energy bursts forth from the mysterious letter, engulfing our boy in a vortex of swirling blue power, revealing an admission notice to a place called Dawn Academy, initiating a forced teleport. And just like that, the energy vanishes, leaving only the letter behind. Zio Lin finds himself in an unfamiliar place, wondering if this whole thing is a sick joke. A voice cuts through his confusion, a man smirking down at him, who then looms over him, mocking his weakness for taking so long to awaken. But he is not alone. Other freshmen are panicking, shouting about being kidnapped, and their captor seems completely unimpressed by their threats. Instead, he unleashes a terrifying wave of purple energy from his sword, silencing the panicked crowd with an overwhelming display of raw power. Then with a single command, he demands their complete silence. This new student stands frozen as the man complains about the admissions department's poor choices. Clearly annoyed by the idiots he has to deal with every single year. This instructor's sharp words cut through the room, blaming someone for wasting their time. An advisor then introduces Dawn Academy, promising a new world for the chosen few who train here. His female colleague drops a bombshell, revealing the ultimate prize for success is immortality itself. Leaving the students completely stunned by the sheer scale of what is being offered. With the speech over, he orders them to prepare for a potential evaluation, confirming this is no simple abduction. One by one, they step into a strange pod for a mysterious potential evaluation, but the first student's results are pathetic, earning a dismissive sneer from the evaluator. Another recruit fares slightly better, but his decent score is still nothing special. And as more average results appear, the evaluator complains loudly about the low quality of the recruits. Finally, it is our boy's turn to step into the machine, his expression unreadable. But the scan seems to be taking an unusually long time, a bead of sweat tracing his temple. This evaluator notices the delay, a smirk growing as he realizes something is different about this kid. At last, the system chimes complete, and the kid lets out a quiet sigh of relief. Before the evaluator stops him, eager to see if this long scan uncovered a hidden gem, his eyes go wide in disbelief as the data appears, reflecting an impossible result. This system displays Zio Lin's profile, revealing his stats are shockingly low across the board. His instructor stares in disbelief at the total attribute score, a measly 9 points. Utterly appalled, the man declares he has never seen stats this abysmal in his entire career. Labeled a generational failure, Zio Lin seethes, wishing they'd just send him back home. All hope drains from the instructor's face, his expectations completely shattered by the results. With a final dismissive word, he walks away, leaving our boy standing alone in the darkness. This insult echoes through his memory, a painful montage of everyone who ever called him trash. A bitter grin spreads across his face, recalling a lifetime of being branded with that one word. Even in this supposed new beginning, he clenches his fist, unable to escape the label that haunts him. This instructor holds out the id plate, warning him that attempting the test is pure suicide. Deciding for him, the man tosses the plate away, dismissing his chances entirely. But in a flash, Zio Lin lunges forward and snatches the golden plate from the air. Rising to his feet, he declares that numbers will not define him, he will decide his own path. Amused by his defiance, the man smirks, eager to watch reality crush the kid's spirit. Nearby, a woman with purple hair overhears their exchange, questioning the term gifted student. This instructor scoffs, dismissing the truly gifted as lucky ones destined for greatness. He then turns his attention to the rest, warning them to focus on just passing the test. But a woman with long black hair steps forward, questioning the academy's grand promises. Pushing up her glasses, she demands to know the price for such unimaginable power. This instructor identifies her as Gu Zioyu, the one with the highest stats, before explaining the school's currency. With a simple "I understand," she calmly accepts the harsh reality of their new world. Another student watches in awe, realizing she is the most promising recruit among them. This instructor then gives everyone instructions on how to view their own status screens. Following the command, Zio Lin focuses on his golden id plate, activating the system. His stats appear along with a horrifying revelation: every death will cost him 10 years of his life. Panic erupts as the other students realize the true stakes, their lifespans now on the line. Yet while others scream in terror, a strange calm settles over Zio Lin's face. Just then, a system alert flashes before his eyes. A hidden talent has been unlocked. He stands stunned, wondering how someone labeled trash could possess such a thing, and his mind completely short-circuits from the sheer shock of this impossible turn of events. Xiao Lin glances back, wondering if he is the only one hearing the system's prompt. His screen reveals an unidentifiable talent with no match in the entire database. This details describe a powerful copy ability that also doubles his learning efficiency. Deciding to keep it simple, a look of pure resolve flashes in his eyes, and with a smirk he names his newfound power top student, locking in the choice as the system begins its final evaluation. Moments later, the results flash across the screen, an incredible SS-rank talent. This instructor reveals to his colleagues that his own authority could not even detect this power, confirming that Xiao Lin possesses a truly hidden SS-rank ability. A confident smile spreads across his face, realizing this might be his ultimate trump card. Meanwhile, another student panics over his short lifespan, fearing instant death from a single mistake, but the instructor just smacks him on the head, telling him to think. He cruelly clarifies that with only 4 years left, any penalty means immediate death, then explains that here, lifespan is a currency used to gain power and resources, leaving the terrified student completely overwhelmed by this brutal new reality. This advisor explains that the academy offers power and knowledge, a ladder to change their fate. He promises them wealth and extended lifespan and even the chance to achieve immortality itself. This purple-haired woman questions the scope of this new reality, asking if it applies everywhere, and the man confirms that as long as they are on Earth, this new law will govern them. With the explanation over, the instructor silences the crowd, announcing the entrance test will begin immediately. He commands everyone to stay exactly where they are, snapping his fingers to begin the process. A system voice announces the start of a teleportation countdown, preparing to move them all. As the number 3 appears, the students stand ready, bracing for whatever comes next. This countdown continues to 2, with Xiao Lin looking on with a determined expression. And at 1, a vortex of purple energy engulfs the entire group, whisking them away. Left alone in the now empty hall, the instructor complains about his bad luck with this year's recruits. His frustration suddenly turns into a bout of manic laughter, echoing through the chamber, until another instructor approaches, calling him Old Chin and breaking his strange mood. This newcomer smugly boasts that his class received 2 gifted students in a rank and a B rank, then rubs it in by mentioning a genius with over 40 attribute points, much to Chin's annoyance. This instructor scoffs at the rumor, insisting double S talents are a complete myth in the database. In a flash, the new recruits are transported deep inside a foul-smelling goblin nest. Overwhelmed by the stench, Xiao Lin gags and covers his mouth in disgust. Before him, a holographic screen materializes, displaying the upcoming test's details. It details the entrance test, a mandatory escape with optional quests to kill goblins. Each probationary student is then issued a starter pack containing 1 random weapon. A crucial message appears, confirming there is no death penalty for this test. Hearing their lifespans will not be deducted, the other recruits celebrate with relief. Tapping the screen, Xiao Lin receives his weapon, a beginner staff with an F-rank skill. As he grips the weapon, a new skill immediately unlocks, Basic Staff Mastery. This system of skills and exp feels instantly familiar, just like the games he plays. With this realization, a determined glint appears in his eyes. Immediately, he channels dark purple energy into the staff's crystal, then slams the weapon into the ground, unleashing a powerful shockwave. This ground shatters beneath the force of the magical blast. He realizes just using the weapon grants exp, but his mana is too low for spells. And with his SS rank talent, he knows his skill progression will be twice as fast as anyone else's, but a sudden jolt of pain reminds him of his physical limits. His pathetic stats mean his mana pool is far too small to cast many spells. Nearby, another student unlocks a greatsword skill, planning to grind levels before starting the quest, while others realize the time limit is designed to prevent them from grinding endlessly. This gives Xiao Lin an idea. He needs a physical weapon to exploit his talent's advantage, so he approaches Gu Xiaoyu, the top recruit, and asks to trade weapons with her. She considers his offer, deducing that skills must consume some kind of mental power or mana, concluding the dagger suits her better just as the staff seems ill-suited for him. He confirms her identity, addressing the top-ranked student by her name, Gu Xiaoyu, who then formally asks if he is willing to make the exchange. Agreeing to the deal, he hands over the staff with a warning about its aim requirement, and in return he receives a beginner dagger, instantly unlocking a new mastery skill. Realizing that to survive this test, his best bet is to form a team. Another student with a charming smile asks Gu Xiaoyu if she wants to team up. Suddenly, a brawny man with a massive sword cuts in, making his own offer to party up. He boasts about his impressive stats, claiming he is the best choice for a partner. Calling the other guy a pretty boy, Wang Dalen insists he is the safer bet for survival. Gu Xiaoyu simply stares back, her expression completely unreadable and cold. His offer is met with silence, and nearby students snicker at his swift rejection. Humiliation quickly turns to rage as his face twists in pure fury. Needing a target for his anger, he glares menacingly at Xiao Lin. This bully grabs our boy by the shirt, aggressively demanding what he is staring at. He then mocks Xiao Lin's pathetic stats, calling him useless trash who cannot even understand weapons. But Xiao Lin calmly retorts that passing depends on more than just raw ability. Enraged by the defiance, the brute tightens his grip, promising to teach him a lesson. A faint smirk plays on Zio Lin's lips, completely unfazed by the threat. And he coolly informs the bully that he will not be getting that chance. Because just then a snarling goblin leaps down from above, right behind the distracted bully. A burly student barely cuts down a goblin, cursing his own carelessness. Another one lunges forward with claws outstretched, catching him completely off guard. With a furious roar, he swings his massive blade in a desperate counterattack. Standing over the corpse, he admits he was almost wiped out by the surprise ambush. He then turns on Zio Lin, accusing him of just watching him struggle for entertainment. His angry words die in his throat as he spots dozens of glowing eyes in the darkness. Suddenly, an entire horde of goblins emerges from the tree line, ready to swarm them. Panic erupts among the new students as they scream at the overwhelming numbers. This air fills with cries of terror as the monsters begin their bloody assault. A girl with purple hair desperately swings her sword, trying to fend off the creatures. Nearby, a different student is viciously slashed across the chest by a goblin's claws. He collapses to the ground, completely surrounded by the snarling green monsters. Zio Lin parries an attack, the impact confirming this life-or-death situation is real. This overwhelming stench and searing pain hit another student as a goblin grabs her. But Gu Zioyu stands firm, her staff crackling with immense purple electrical energy. A goblin's claw makes contact, and the sensation feels disturbingly real to Zio Lin. All around him, the other recruits are being slaughtered, a brutal lesson that this is no game. One student spots a safe zone, shouting for everyone to take refuge inside a nearby cave. And without hesitation, Zio Lin shoves another person aside, fighting toward the sanctuary. He knows this cave offers temporary safety, but a nagging feeling tells him it is not over. A system timer appears above them, confirming his fears. Their protection is on a countdown. Forcing himself to stay calm, he grips his dagger, ready to analyze the dire situation. Refusing to just sit here and wait for death, his resolve hardening with every passing second. Practicing a swing, a system notification pops up, granting him experience for his dagger mastery. And he realizes mastering his weapon now is the only way to overcome his abysmal stats. With only 2 minutes left, panic spreads through the group as the cave's protection nears its end. This others cry out in despair, convinced the quest is impossible against such fast-moving monsters. Meanwhile, Gu Zioyu sits calmly against the wall, observing the chaos with an unreadable expression. Her gaze falling upon Zio Lin, who ignores the panic and continues to practice his swings relentlessly. He is already exhausted and sweating, pushing his body to its limit before the timer runs out. Gu Zioyu coldly informs Zio Lin his grinding is pointless, calculating it would take an hour to level up. Despite her logic, a determined look remains in his eyes, sweat dripping down his exhausted face. Impressed by her intellect, he listens as she confirms her estimate of an hour to reach level 2. But a confident smirk spreads across his face, remembering he has a secret advantage. His SS rank talent has him just 2 points away from leveling up his dagger mastery. He thanks her for the concern, then shifts focus, asking what she has learned about the goblins, and she seems surprised he even noticed her careful observation of their enemies outside. After a brief awkward exchange about gaming, their conversation returns to survival strategy, and Zio Lin lays out his analysis. The goblins are weak, with vitals at the head and heart. Looking at the terrified survivors, he concludes that fear is the real enemy in this test. As once courage is lost, any hope of victory vanishes with it, leaving only despair. With only 2 minutes of safety left, Gu Zioyu announces it is time to move out. But suddenly the bully Wang Dalen blocks their path, demanding to know their plan. He tries to recruit Gu Zioyu, dismissing Zio Lin as useless trash holding her back. But she reveals the true objective is not just escape, it is hunting down the Goblin King. This brawny student scoffs at the idea, yelling that the Goblin King is an optional quest they cannot handle. But Zio Lin calmly explains the quest's existence implies a trigger, perhaps tied to the number of goblins killed. Gu Zioyu agrees, deducing that a kill count is the most probable factor for summoning the boss. With a confident smile, Zio Lin confirms her theory, believing a certain number of kills will make the king appear. Another student voices her fear, questioning why they should risk fighting a boss when the minions are already deadly. Zio Lin counters that with no death penalty, this is a high-reward, zero-risk opportunity they cannot afford to miss. He passionately argues this is their best chance to farm credits and change their fate, urging them to try. His words resonate with the others, who realize they might as well gamble since the cave's safety is temporary. This bully scoffs at Zio Lin's plan, demanding everyone listen to him and his superior initial attributes instead. Gu Zioyu coldly dismisses his boast, stating his 32 points are only slightly above average. She then reveals her own staggering attribute score with a single number 46. Her declaration is followed by a simple, chilling command for the bully to shut up. Stunned into silence, the brute can only stare as the other students watch his total humiliation. Zio Lin is completely floored by the revelation, realizing her power is more than 5 times his own. Taking command, Gu Zioyu announces that anyone who wants rewards must follow her lead to ensure their success. A student with glasses takes charge, ordering the brawny fighter to tank the goblins. She then instructs the archers to form teams and provide covering fire from the back lines. Turning her attention to Zio Lin, assigning him a role in the newly formed strategy, he confidently accepts, planning to pick off weakened stragglers to compensate for his low stats. With the plan set, the students prepare to leave the safety of the cave and face the horde. This brawny tank roars into battle, swinging his greatsword wildly at the approaching monsters, while the archers draw their bows ready to unleash a volley of arrows from a distance. Their shafts fly true, striking several goblins as the creatures swarm forward relentlessly. But one monster breaks through the barrage, lunging at the purple-haired archer with claws out. Just in time, Xiao Lin intercepts the attack, his blade poised to strike the creature down, and a clean slice finishes the goblin, earning him his first kill of the test. He explains his strategy is to conserve energy and only deliver the final blow, putting his plan into action by quickly dispatching a second goblin with precise timing. Then a third falls to his blade as he moves through the chaos with surprising ease, and a fourth kill is confirmed, proving his unconventional tactic is brutally effective. This brawny student scoffs, accusing Xiao Lin of simply kill-stealing when monsters are most vulnerable. But Gu Xiaoyu sees the truth. He is predicting their movements and slipping out of their line of sight. A system notification confirms his basic dagger mastery has just reached level 2. He credits his precision to 2 months of hardcore training in a full-immersion VR game. With a confident smirk, he pulls up a holographic system screen ready for the next step. A system reward unlocks a new skill, Heavy Strike, as purple energy swirls around him. Thrilled with his level up and new skill, he is just one goblin away from finishing the quest. His dagger glows with power as he pins down another goblin, preparing for the final blow, and plunging the blade down, he slays the last required monster, completing his first optional quest. With the quest cleared, he rests the blade on his shoulder, a satisfied look on his face. But suddenly, the goblins around the other students begin to vanish into blue particles. This brawny student shouts in confusion, demanding to know what the hell is happening. Just as a system broadcast announces a hidden condition has been met, activating a boss. A massive shadow plummets from the sky, crashing down into the nearby forest with immense force. And from the trees emerges the Goblin King, a monstrous beast that towers over the lone Xiao Lin. This monstrous Goblin King snarls with glowing eyes, its immense power clear to everyone present. And it unleashes a deafening roar that shakes the very ground, a shockwave of green energy erupting. This other students cry out in agony, clutching their ears as the sound threatens to burst them. Reeling from the sonic blast, the purple-haired archer can only stare in disbelief and terror. But Xiao Lin and Gu Xiaoyu stand their ground, observing the new threat with grim determination. As before them stands the dungeon boss, its massive health bar confirming their worst fears. A terrifying close-up reveals the beast's glowing eyes, promising a brutal and difficult fight ahead. And Xiao Lin quickly notes that all the lesser goblins have disappeared, leaving them alone with the king. Panic spreads as the others see its impossibly long health bar, convinced they cannot possibly win, causing one student to break, shouting that he is quitting and running for his life as Xiao Lin yells at him. He tries to warn them about the goblin's specific weakness, their very small field of vision. But the beast's other senses are far more dangerous, its sharp teeth bared in a silent snarl, because its hearing and sense of smell are exceptionally sharp, making stealth nearly impossible. This fleeing student's panic shouts immediately draw the king's full attention, proving Xiao Lin's point. And even the brawny Wang Dalin watches in horror, sweat beading on his face as he understands the fatal mistake. Wang Dalin rallies the students, shouting that their numbers are enough to overwhelm the beast. With a roar, he leaps forward, bringing his massive greatsword down on the monster's head. But the Goblin King's eye shows no fear, only cold, calculated amusement. It effortlessly catches the blade with a single hand, stopping the attack dead in its tracks, and counters with a devastating punch that shatters the very ground beneath them. This brute is sent flying backward, screaming as he is slammed into a rock face, his body dissolving into blue particles as the other students watch in stunned horror. Panic erupts as they realize their strongest fighter was just one-shotted, screaming for everyone to run. One student lets out a final, desperate scream while trying to escape the carnage, only to be caught under the monster's massive, descending foot. Raising its colossal club, the beast prepares to crush the fleeing survivors, sending another student flying through the air with a single, brutal swing. She lands hard, looking up in terror as the monster prepares to deliver the final blow. But a sudden blast of purple energy strikes the creature's arm, halting its attack. This Goblin King looks down at its smoking limb as its health bar appears for the first time. Frustration twists Gu Xiaoyu's face as her magical attack narrowly misses the massive target. She knows that striking the limbs is useless, realizing she must aim for its vital spots instead. Her initial strategy flashes through her mind. The others would tank while she dealt damage from afar. But with their formation now completely broken, that entire strategy has fallen apart. Staring up at the monster's colossal leg, she realizes her plan is in absolute shambles, admitting to herself that her carefully laid strategy was far too idealistic for this brutal reality. A sudden shout from Xiao Lin snaps her from her thoughts, urging her to run for her life. Just as he leaps forward, his blade glowing as he intercepts the king's devastating attack. Its eyes flare with rage, the massive beast furious at this unexpected defiance. And with a furious roar, it brings its massive club crashing down where Xiao Lin just stood. Catching his breath, Xiao Lin confirms his observation. The Goblin King always attacks the closest target. He then calls out to the archer, telling her to draw its fire and attack from a safe distance. Though hesitant, the purple-haired archer steals her resolve and agrees to execute his plan. Turning to Gu Xiaoyu next, he explains her magic is the key to chipping away its health. With the new strategy in place, the archer draws her bow as Gu Zioyu gathers immense magical energy. Gu Zioyu's energy blasts slam into the Goblin King, who retaliates with its own demonic weapon. This monster's club smashes the ground, but Gu Zioyu realizes their combined assault is working, and Zio Lin shouts encouragement, urging her to keep up the relentless pressure. Enraged by the constant assault, the Goblin King lets out a deafening roar of pure fury, its massive hands gripping the energy spears embedded in its chest, preparing to retaliate. A powerful shockwave of green energy erupts from its body, shattering the magical projectiles. This blast sends Gu Zioyu flying, and Zio Lin desperately reaches out to save her. But the Goblin King stands over them, wounded yet far from defeated. Now only Zio Lin and Gu Zioyu remain, facing the monstrous boss all alone, and she asks if they even have a chance now that all the other students are gone. Zio Lin quickly assesses their situation, asking how much mana she has left for her attacks, and she grimly replies that she can only manage 2 more shots at most. He tells her to aim for the head for maximum damage, but she admits the beast is too fast to hit accurately. A confident smirk crosses Zio Lin's face as he declares he will make the monster stop moving for her, and with a flash of blue light he activates his unique skill, Top Student. His unique ability instantly analyzes the boss's skill, revealing a powerful shockwave stun. Recalling how everyone once called him trash, he stomps the ground with newfound power. And a system notification confirms he has copied the shockwave skill, declaring this his battlefield. With a look of intense focus, purple energy crackles from his eyes as he prepares his move. As the Goblin King raises its club to unleash its attack, Zio Lin charges in to meet it. He realizes the boss's version requires a huge wind-up, but his copied skill is much faster. With his own shockwave now activated, he prepares to counter the monster's devastating attack. Timing his strike perfectly by slamming his blade against the king's descending fist, banking on the theory that any skill activation can be interrupted with enough force. This monster stumbles back, its powerful shockwave completely nullified by the perfectly timed counter. His gamble pays off, proving his theory correct and creating a crucial opening in its defense. And catching his breath, he grips his sword, knowing this is just the beginning of the fight. But the monster recovers quickly, and his copied skill is now on a 30-second cooldown, allowing the beast to retaliate instantly with a devastating blast of purple energy from its palm, leaving Zio Lin completely exposed as the king prepares to launch another deadly projectile. Gu Zioyu is stunned, realizing she only has 1 shot left and questioning how he stopped the monster. This Goblin King stumbles back, momentarily dazed by Zio Lin's impossible interruption. A system notification reveals he copied the boss's shockwave skill, now on a 16-second cooldown. Recovering its senses, the beast lifts a boulder, trapping Zio Lin, who knows he cannot fully escape. A wild grin spreads across his face as he decides on a reckless counterplan. Instead of dodging, he braces himself, choosing to meet the crushing attack head-on. Gu Zioyu screams his name in horror, watching the massive rock slam down upon him. Through the dust, he stands battered but alive, confirming he somehow survived the direct hit. This monster roars again, but he knows his copied skill has a very limited range. To land the hit, he must get dangerously close, dashing right into the beast's personal space. He waits for the perfect moment, his eyes fixed on the system timer counting down. With a furious shout, he unleashes his power just as the skill's cooldown finally ends. This system confirms the activation of his copied ability, Shockwave. A violent blast of purple energy erupts from his blade, slamming into the Goblin King at point-blank range. Exhausted but successful, he screams for Gu Zioyu to take her final, critical shot. Gu Zioyu unleashes a final, devastating blast of magic straight into the Goblin King's face, and the monster's head erupts into digital particles as its health bar completely vanishes. A system notification confirms the Goblin King is slain, marking their second optional quest complete. Exhausted but victorious, Zio Lin looks down at Gu Zioyu, relieved the fight is finally over. But he suddenly collapses from the strain, muttering about the safe zone quest as she catches him. Looking at the timer on a portal, she realizes with dread that they are not going to make it back. Meanwhile, in a high-tech briefing room, Academy instructors review the freshman test results. As the head of admissions begins summarizing the overall performance and student rankings for the batch, revealing that an astonishing 15 students managed to achieve an S-rank rating this year. This news shocks the other instructors, who know S-rank requires completing all quests and surviving, leading to boasts about which classes have the most gifted students among their ranks. But the head clarifies there are 13 verified gifted students, the highest quality in a decade. One instructor slumps in his chair, lamenting that his class is the only one without any gifted students. Yet the admissions head tells him his class still managed to set 2 new school records. He then reveals the first record: 2 non-gifted students from that class achieved S-rank ratings. In a high-tech briefing room, an official discusses the results of the recent entrance exam, revealing a new academy record has just been set for the lowest combined attributes ever. Holograms of Zio Lin and Gu Zioyu appear, 2 polar opposites from the same class. Meanwhile, Zio Lin awakens, shocked to find himself alive and fully healed after the test. A system screen confirms his S-rank rating, granting him a massive reward of credits and points. His gaze falls on Gu Zioyu, realizing she must have carried him to the safe zone after he collapsed, when suddenly the purple-haired archer from the dungeon calls out to him with a friendly wave. She thanks them both profusely, admitting she owes her rank score entirely to their efforts, and after explaining she was killed by the boss, she asks if they actually defeated the king. Xiao Lin confirms their victory with a confident smirk, leaving her completely stunned and impressed, but another student scoffs from nearby, clearly unimpressed by their accomplishment. He sneers that it was just dumb luck, claiming Xiao Lin only survived by latching onto Gu Xiaoyu. Ignoring the bitter man, Gu Xiaoyu walks over and calls out to Xiao Lin herself, telling him they need to talk alone about what happened during the battle, and the two find a quiet corner to discuss the aftermath of their impossible victory. Xiao Lin thanks her for the save, but she coolly calls it a mutually beneficial move for rewards, admitting his interruption was the only reason she could land the final, decisive blow. He is stunned by her cold logic, realizing she had calculated every variable of the fight. Gu Xiaoyu then questions how he interrupted the boss, a feat that should have been impossible for him, but she promises to keep his secrets, earning a quiet thanks from Xiao Lin. Changing the subject, she suggests they add each other as friends using the system's communication function, showing him how to access the interface with a simple mental command to activate it. Following her instructions, they both mentally activate their built-in system interfaces. A holographic screen displays his stats, and she asks for his student id to send the request. And a moment later, a friend request from Gu Xiaoyu pops up on his personal display. Without hesitation, he reaches out and taps the accept button on the glowing interface. A system notification confirming their new connection has been successfully established. Suddenly, a stern-looking instructor barks out an order for all F-rank students to report immediately, dismissing the rest of the crowd and telling them to navigate to the central field. His sharp gaze then lands directly on Xiao Lin and Gu Xiaoyu, singling them out from the others. A blue-haired official summons Gu Xiaoyu for a private discussion, leaving Xiao Lin to pull up a holographic map and plan his route to the field. He wonders if she was singled out for her S-rank or if there is another reason. Arriving at the massive field, he finds a huge crowd of students already gathering, and Gu Xiaoyu rejoins him, confirming she revealed nothing important during her talk. Suddenly, a sharp command cuts through the chatter, demanding everyone make way. An authoritative group of upperclassmen marches through, ordering the freshmen into formation. Their blue-haired leader stands before them all, holding a glowing crystal with an air of command, introducing himself with a confident smirk as the president of the student council. This president announces he will be welcoming them in place of the delayed principal, but a deafening roar from above suddenly interrupts his speech. This entire crowd gasps in shock, their eyes fixed on something descending from the sky. A colossal purple dragon with glowing wings descends upon the academy grounds. Xiao Lin stares in utter disbelief, realizing a real, living dragon is right above them, its fanged maw opening in a terrifying roar as its glowing eyes promise destruction. Xiao Lin is paralyzed by the sight of a real dragon, its immense pressure rooting him to the spot. And Gu Xiaoyu is also locked in place, an instinctive terror overwhelming her completely. A colossal purple dragon descends onto the field, carrying a white-haired man on its back, who casually apologizes for his dramatic entrance, citing some business he had to handle. This imposing figure is revealed to be the Dawn Academy principal, who nearly missed the ceremony, and one of the instructors approaches, wryly commenting that the entrance was a bit over the top. But the principal furiously denies it was for show, clearly annoyed by the grandstanding assumption, explaining he was just short on time and even threatening to turn his dragon into a sofa. Watching from the crowd, Xiao Lin realizes this is the man who can see his unique talent. This principal then addresses the students, praising the impressive skills shown in the entrance exam, his gaze sweeping across the crowd, seemingly assessing each and every one of them, until his eyes lock directly onto Xiao Lin, who flinches at the sudden, focused attention. With a tap of his staff, the principal casts an amplification spell across the entire field. Preparing to give his speech while acknowledging the students' strange and unpleasant summons, he then promptly blames the admissions department for sending out acceptance letters at such odd hours. This students listen as a new rule is set for daytime-only admissions to avoid bad luck. An elderly instructor gets serious, preparing to answer the students' two biggest questions, and with arms outstretched, he dramatically reveals their true purpose. They are colonizers. Their destination is planet Norma, a new world teeming with powerful, monstrous beasts, where Dawn Academy's sole mission is to train them into elite vanguard fighters, a land he declares they are destined to fight for and ultimately conquer for humanity.